Police say they are part of the Money Steppas gang, an incredibly dangerous gang that police say were involved in homicides, shootings, drug deals, arson, and much more, using illegal weapons and automatic rifles. They are primarily targeted the South End neighborhood of Hartford, but not only that, they've crossed some state lines.
Hi, Ben. Good evening to you. Now, New Haven police say that this alleged gang has been around here since the early 2000s, and they call themselves Exit 8. Now, police say that they're one of the most dangerous groups in the area, and they do hope this indictment sends them a message.
Members, associates, and leaders now behind bars and have been convicted recently for killing rival gang members and innocent people. It's a major gang takedown to take back Waterbury neighborhoods.
Gang violence and organized crime in Connecticut have seen increased attention from law enforcement in recent years, resulting in major investigations and indictments. From the streets of New Haven to Waterbury and Hartford, several notorious gangs like Exit 8, 960, and Money Steppas, GMS, have been linked to a range of criminal activities, including drug trafficking, firearms violations, and violent confrontations with rival groups. These gangs, some of which have origins dating back over a decade, have left a trail of destruction in their wake, often using social media and music videos to promote and coordinate their illicit actions. Through ongoing federal and local efforts, significant progress has been made in holding these groups accountable, leading to numerous arrests and charges under racketeering statutes.
Federal law enforcement officials announcing a major bust where they've arrested and charged 6 members of an alleged gang.
Gun violence will not be tolerated.
Federal officials say the 6 men have been charged with racketeering conspiracy, including drug trafficking and attempted. They're part of a group called Exit 8. Police say the gang uses that name since they cover the area right off the I-91 exit. Newer, younger members also go by Honcho, named after a former member killed by a rival gang on Quinnipiac Ave in 2020.
And then they carried that torch, unfortunately the torch of violence.
Chief Carl Jacobson knows many of the men well, especially 24-year-old Donald Alec Jr.
It's just compelling to be here 10 years later after meeting him at his father's home when we solved his father's murder.
After his dad was killed by rival gang members, the chief says Alec Jr. chose the wrong path.
As a result of an investigation into gang-related drug trafficking and related violence in New Haven, a federal grand jury in Bridgeport has returned an indictment charging 6 alleged members and associates of the Exit 8 street gang in New Haven with conspiring to engage in a pattern of racketeering activity, including drug trafficking, deletion, and attempted deletion, as well as related offenses. The charges stem from an ongoing investigation into a gang-related conflict in New Haven focused on violence in areas including the Hill section of the city. The Exit 8 gang, named after the area accessible via Exit 8 off Interstate 91 in New Haven, has been associated with drug trafficking and multiple violent incidents. According to court documents, members of the Exit 8 gang have been involved in drug distribution, firearm offenses, and numerous violent acts since June 2018. The group allegedly coordinated and celebrated their criminal activities through text messaging and social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube. In recent years, younger members of Exit 8 have begun to identify themselves with the term Honcho, in reference to a gang member who was deleted in February 2020. The indictment outlines several acts of violence attributed to Exit 8 members, including multiple attempted deletions and incidents of gunfire targeting rival gang members. Some of the specific allegations include a June 2018 shooting in which 3 people were targeted, several incidents in 2019 and 2021 where gang members reportedly attempted to delete rivals, and a string of violent incidents between April and June 2021, during which Exit 8 members allegedly carried out shootings, resulting in both attempted deletions and deletions. Additionally, in September 2022, Exit 8 members were accused of a fatal shooting involving a rival. Charges filed against the gang members include racketeering conspiracy, with potential sentences of up to 60 years for some individuals and 20 years for others if convicted. Specific defendants also face charges of attempted assault with a dangerous weapon, attempted deletion, unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon, and drug distribution offenses, which carry varying maximum sentences. The investigation reflects ongoing efforts by federal, state, and local law enforcement to address gang-related violence in New Haven.
Waterbury's fiercest gangs is collapsing. Its leader and some other top members are now in prison, most likely for life.
It's a major gang takedown to take back Waterbury neighborhoods.
This case was one of the most complicated that our city has seen.
The FBI has spent 6 years trying to shut down the Brass City Syndicate called 960. Its leader, Gabriel Pulliam, and associate Julian Scott were convicted last week. For years, the gang has been dealing drugs and running an organized crime ring. In 2018, Pulliam and Scott shot at a group of people, a young mother of 4, and paralyzing a second woman. We were there as a community mourned. The killers now facing life without parole. So are these 4, all in their mid-20s. 2 rival gang members in 2017. This is from that horrifying night. A shaken neighborhood demanded answers.
Say that this is one of the most complicated cases the city of Waterbury has ever seen because they spent years investigating this violent group known as the 960 Street Gang, and now 2 more members have been convicted. 30-year-old Gabriel Pulliam and 25-year-old Julian Scott were found guilty last week for their participation in the group. They faced racketeering-related charges, including shootings and gang-related offenses. The 2 are now part of 14 total members and associates of the 960 gang who have been convicted since a grand jury indicted them in September 2021.
According to court documents, the gang in question originated in 2008 as a local street gang in Waterbury's Long Hill Projects area. Over time, the group evolved into 1920 before adopting its current name, which is 960. Members of the gang communicate through various channels, including Facebook, phone calls, text messages, and music videos, often using gang symbols and code words to conceal their criminal activities. Several individuals associated with the gang have been convicted for their involvement in violent incidents between 2017 and 2018 in Waterbury. These incidents include a double deletion in 2017 and a shooting in 2018 that resulted in the deletion of a mother of 4 and left another woman paralyzed. To address the gang's involvement in drug trafficking and associated violence, the FBI, ATF, and Waterbury police have collaborated in an ongoing investigation. On September 12, 2021, a federal grand jury in Hartford returned a 36-count indictment against 960 members, including Gabriel Pulliam, Julian Scott, and 14 others. The charges included racketeering, narcotics trafficking, firearm possession, deletion, attempted deletion, assault, and obstruction of justice. Specific incidents highlighted in the indictment include an October 6, 2018 drive-by shooting involving Scott and other gang members targeting rivals. On October 11, 2018, Pulliam, Scott, and other members participated in another drive-by shooting aimed at rival gang members, which tragically resulted in the deletion of 20-year-old Francois Guzman and the paralysis of another individual. A similar drive-by shooting took place on November 18, 2018, where Scott and his associates targeted rivals, resulting in injuries to 2 individuals.
Police have been hard at work behind the scenes, taking down an extremely dangerous gang.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Eliza Krasinski is joining us now live at the Hartford Police Department with more on how police took down these criminals.
Police say they are part of the Money Steppas gang, an incredibly dangerous gang that police say were involved in shootings, drug deals, arson, and much more, using illegal weapons and automatic rifles. They are primarily targeted the South End neighborhood of Hartford, but not only that, they've crossed some state lines.
The racketeering case against 13 individuals allegedly involved with the Money Steppas, a criminal group, includes accusations of drug trafficking, firearms violations, vehicle thefts, and violence between rival crime groups. One catalyst for the violent incidents may have been the deletion of a memorial dedicated to the leader of a predecessor group, who was deleted in front of his Hartford home in March 2015. According to detectives, the memorial was for Julius Rivera, the leader of the 420 gang, which operated in the Wethersfield Avenue area, including Benton, Elliott, and Bond Streets, as well as Lawrence Street, over a mile away. Rivera's deletion triggered a series of retaliatory acts, including other deletions and violent crimes, eventually leading to the decline of the 420 gang's organizational structure. By 2020, a group of loosely associated friends and neighbors continued using the name 420, but rebranded as Money Steppas, GMS, to signify unity with new associates. The reconstituted group engaged in violent activities such as robberies of drug dealers and shootings of rival gang members, as well as acts against uninvolved citizens, aiming to solidify their criminal reputation, according to detectives. One violent incident tied to Rivera's deletion occurred on February 17, 2022, when Christian Feliciano, known as Kiki, was shot 14 times outside a barbershop on Franklin Avenue in Hartford. Feliciano was armed but did not draw his weapon, according to police reports. Detectives indicated that Feliciano had been feuding with an individual known as Gilly, recently released from prison and affiliated with the 420 gang. Feliciano had reportedly kicked over a memorial dedicated to Rivera in front of his former home, which may have contributed to the conflict. Leonardo LaBoy, 24, one of the individuals charged with Feliciano's deletion, has Rivera's first name, Julius, tattooed on his forehead. LaBoy and co-defendant Juan Perez, 28, are also among those charged in the ongoing racketeering case. Detectives cited evidence from social media posts and rap videos to support the claim that all the defendants in the racketeering case were connected to GMS. One Facebook post attributed to racketeering defendant Gilberto "Gilly" Mendez appears to mock Feliciano following his deletion, accompanied by a link to a music video. According to the investigation, GMS has used professionally produced rap videos, often filmed in multiple locations and costing thousands of dollars, to promote their activities. Further violence against Feliciano's family occurred on February 16, 2023, the day before the first anniversary of his deletion. While visiting his grave in a Bloomfield cemetery, family members were attacked by a group of individuals who pistol-whipped one of the mourners, placing a gun to the back of her head and stealing her cell phone, wallet, and credit cards. Jeremy White, 21, is charged with first-degree robbery, second-degree assault, and other crimes related to this incident and is believed to be the current leader of GMS. Although all the incidents mentioned in the racketeering case have led to arrests, detectives also highlighted a series of retaliatory shootings between GMS and the Orange Street Gang in 2022 and 2023, some of which resulted in deletions. However, these recent incidents have not yet led to arrests. The indictments and investigations into gangs like Exit 8, 960, and Get Money Steppas highlight the persistent challenges posed by organized criminal groups in Connecticut. The violence and criminal activities associated with these gangs have had devastating effects on their communities, but coordinated law enforcement efforts are actively working to dismantle these operations. With multiple gang members facing lengthy sentences, the hope is that these actions will not only bring justice to the victims, but also deter future violence and provide some relief to the neighborhoods affected by gang warfare.